Hey comic book fans, this is your host Travis Collins, aka Duck Punch, and I'm back for another episode of Duck Punch Comics. Today we're looking at 4 books that came out on September 15th, 2010. Today we're going to take a look at Amazing Spider-Man number 643, Birds of Prey number 5, X-23 number 1, and Emerald Warriors number 2. Now, as you know, we go straight to our reviews around here with Amazing Spider-Man number 643, written by Mark Waid, with art by Paul Azaceta. You know, it's been a while since I've gotten to say this about Spider-Man, but I think it is time to break the streak. So here you go, guys. You ready? This issue of Amazing Spider-Man was really, really good. Now this picks up right from the end of last issue, with Spidey rescuing the child of Norman Osborn and Lily Hollister from the clutches of Dr. Octopus and his band of villains, and trying to find help. Unfortunately for the Wallcrawler, this is precisely what Dr. Octopus wanted, as he has called the media, who simply see Spider-Man swinging around town with a newborn, which in turn gets the police involved. So now Spidey finds himself pursued by an entire city along with his most dangerous enemies. And you know it's only going to get worse from there. Now Waid is really giving us a great story here. Most Spidey stories, and by extension most superhero stories, generally come down with solutions that either involve brain or brawn. Either the character is going to think his way out of the problem, or he's just going to hit it really, really hard. But here both of these options are taken away from Spider-Man. He can't risk an open fight because he's got an infant in his arms, and he's perpetually on the run with no time to think. It actually feels very tense, which is unusual for a Spider-Man story. Definitely a step up from the crap of the last few months. Look, I'm going to go ahead and say this. I like Azaceta on artwork, and I don't care what anyone says. So there. Bleh. Spider-Man has been needing a good kick in the ass, story-wise, for a few months now. And this is shaping up to be just the right boot to do it. I'm genuinely intrigued to see where this story goes, and I can't wait for the next issue. Give this one a check out, guys. Next up, Birds of Prey number 5, written by Gail Simone, and art by Alvin Lee and Adriana Mello. Now that the characters are all introduced and the new status quo for this series has been established, Simone now gets down to the work of telling an out-and-out story, which is where she's always excelled. Now the fallout from the battle with White Canary begins as our hero Black Canary quits the team to follow her prisoner back to Thailand to find the elusive Lady Shiva. Meanwhile, Huntress and Lady Blackhawk follow hot on her trail, while Hawk and Dove recover in the hospital, and Oracle sets up a new base of operations. The end of the issue is a real shocker, and sets up a major confrontation not only against the enemies of the team, but within the team itself. Now Simone's strong point is writing great characters that feel dynamic. While her Wonder Woman work left something to be desired, here we see her back in proverbial fighting form. Each of the birds is really flushed out here, and the reader gets a real sense of not only what they bring to the team, but how they react to the situation around them, and how it all makes sense in the context of the story. Very few teams these days have this kind of cohesion, and it makes for a better story. The team of Lee and Mello on art makes a very different feel from the first few issues, and I really like it. It's much crisper, and that's just kind of the things I like in my artwork. While the story itself is very clearly a stepping stone to a bigger story, this was still a good read on the whole. Definitely keep your eyes on this one, guys. Next up, X-23, number 1, written by Marjorie Liu, with art by Will Conrad. Now X-23 is one of those characters that you either love or you hate. If you hate her, then she's just Wolverine or Wolverine with boobs. If you love her, she's a tortured character who has never been able to escape her past, and at the end of the day isn't really sure she wants to. Now, I can't tell you what to think, but only what I think. But I will say this. This is a great book to get acquainted with the character. Now, Laura, X-23, is having nightmares about both her time with the now infamous X-Force and of a demonic Wolverine calling to her from hell. This is going on while all the adult X-Men, including Wolverine, are all trying to figure out what to do with her. And to make matters worse, her old friends in the new X-Men are themselves divided about how to approach the girl they thought they knew. Now, Lou has written X-23 before, and so she knows the character and immediately sets about on pushing the character to a new direction. My only complaint here is that she's tying her to this inane Wolverine in Hell story that's going on in Wolverine and in Dakin. But I can forgive all of that because of the awesome inclusion of the new X-Men in this issue, especially the appearance of one of my favorite X characters, Dust. I was actually really happy with Conrad's art, though. With a lot of times with X-23 or the new X-Men, Marvel tends toward this really anime style. If you see the cover, you'll know what I mean. But here we got something far more in-depth and way more readable. Very nice work. Like I said, this is one of those books that I can't tell you whether you're going to like it or not. You can probably tell by now that I do like the character, and I'm definitely going to be getting this for a bit. But I will reiterate, if you are at all interested in the character, give this book a read-through, especially the back matter, which gives her whole story, and decide for yourself. Maybe even leave a comment, let me know what you thought. Last up this week, Green Lantern Emerald Warriors number 2, written by Peter J. Tomasi with art by Fernando Perserin. This continues to be a really great addition to the Green Lantern franchise that is taking some of the old Green Lantern standbys, along with some of the newer characters, in a completely different direction than what we've seen before. It's bold, it's exciting, and above all else, it's a lot of fun. Guy Gardner finds that he's getting some unwanted travel companions on his mission to explore the unknown sectors with Kilowog and Arisia. Meanwhile, a new threat is emerging just outside of Lantern territory, with a powerful telepath who is using other telepaths to increase his own power for some nefarious purpose. Back in Lantern space, Guy and his team make a stop on the planet Odin, the Blue Lantern homeworld, to request a favor, but not before another Lantern Corps decides to make a surprise appearance. Tomasi is definitely laying groundwork for something bigger by teasing out the various factions that are all in play with Guy's mission to the unknown sector. The reader is constantly forced to ask, but why is that person doing that? Or what is that character's angle? Or just what does that group have to do with anything? Provided that Tomasi doesn't dawdle about getting to the point, this could really shape into a great story about the new status quo for DC's resident Space Army. Perserin's art is still nothing special. I find it a little sad that such an intriguing new title has such a lackluster artist working on it. The bottom line, this book is building. Building to what? I don't know. But something awesome is coming in the near future, and I can't wait to see it. So there you go, guys. 4 books that came out on September 9th. September 15th. I can't even get the date right. It's been one of them days. September 15th. Some really interesting stuff going on. As always, leave comments. Let me know what you thought. And I will see you guys tomorrow with another episode. Have a great day.